Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap24, and welcome to another special edition of the NovaWrap. So we are here today speaking about the upcoming flight simulation event, the FlightSimCon 2018. So, FlightSimCon, we're here joined today by Nicole Glander from Glander Events Management.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Tristan, for having me on again this year. It's great to be with you.
It is great to have you on again, Nicole. So Nicole is of course the manager and the director of FlightSimCon, which is the longest running flight simulation convention in the United States, and it is on once again for, I believe it's the sixth or seventh year this year, Nicole.
This is the sixth annual. I started Flight SimCon back in 2013, and we have the sixth annual going on this year on June 23rd and 24th in downtown Dallas, Texas. And
And
it's
that
going to be a pretty exciting event this year. We've moved it from the East Coast to the west or central United States this year.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. And indeed, Flight SimCon for me is a very bit of a special memory for me because it was my first sort of chance to get to an international flight simulation conference. And of course, it's as you said, it's been long running now for 6 years and very firmly established with its reputation and a lot of great things that you can see. But of course, yeah, this is the first year that it's moved from the East Coast. So, Nicole, why don't you tell us a little bit about where you've moved Flight SimCon to and maybe some of the reasons why? Because it's, as I said, it was very firmly established over in Hartford, Connecticut. So some of the reasons behind bringing it over to Dallas in Texas this year.
Yes, well, I'm based in Connecticut, and Connecticut, I'm sure everybody knows, has a rich aviation history, so it seemed very appropriate to hold the event in Connecticut. But since the beginning, we've had requests from folks that are out west to, asking and requesting if we could ever bring the event to the west side of the states, and that was always our intention, especially because there was demand for that. So we wanted first to build a foundation for the event first. We couldn't just take it on the road right away, and the event grew tremendously throughout the years, year by year, and so it just seemed appropriate that 2018 would be the year to hold it out west, and we'll probably bring it west and east and in between, and all along the way throughout time. But we chose Dallas for this year because that Dallas-Fort Worth area is also rich in the aviation industry. So
Yeah, it is. It
that's
is very much, and it's a very much a trip place for a lot of Australians end up because it's a very major hub for our national airline there. So, well, great to see that it is moving and coming across to a new and exciting location. Moving on. So, of course, as we know, Flight SimCon is very much the established flight simulation conference in the United States, and it's always a great place to bring people together. Now, I know in past years we've had sort of it's been very much a mecca for people to come together and actually spend that time socializing, not only socializing but then seeing some of the things that actually are up and coming and hearing about some products. Can you tell us about some of the exciting things, some exciting exhibitors that people coming to Flight SimCon 2018 will be able to see?
Sure. Yeah, and that was also the idea behind starting the event was the fact that there wasn't an event like this in the United States at the time, and it was about getting people offline and meeting in person in a social setting with some good things happening around them. And this year, we're really happy to be joined by Cockpit Fest USA, and they are bringing a bunch of cockpits to the event. We have a couple of F-16s, we have a Saberliner, we have a 737, we have a Cobra, and we're bringing them all into the ballroom. So in the past, we've had some fuselages and cockpits on display at Flight SimCon, but that's nothing compared to what is going on this year. It's just going to be quite the sight in that exhibit hall to have all of these monstrous pieces of airplanes in there, and so folks will have, depending on the different cockpits, you'll be able to climb in and take photos, or and try them out a little bit, and some will actually be geared up with simulation equipment, so it's going to be quite exciting. And then beyond that, we have Gleam Aviation. They'll be doing some displays at the event. And then we'll also be joined by the Association of Flight Simulator Builders and Instructors. They'll be promoting their stuff. And then we have who else do we have? We have a ValerSim. They're coming, and they'll be bringing their chassis and doing some demonstrations as well. So it'll be it's going to be quite fun.
So it's definitely going to be a great chance for people to be able to interact and see, because I know that it's a very much a common theme with a lot of us virtual aviators, where we do look to sort of, what sort of hardware do we use and what sort of hardware does somebody else use, and it's always great to be able a chance to be able to see some of that in actual use, especially being able to put things together in a cockpit format, and going through and seeing some of the because I believe there's also going to be a helicopter cockpit there, a Bell Cobra, as well as a 737 cockpit as well. So of course, very very popular themes there for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Beyond that, there's always a great chance to see a lot of crossover, and it was interesting that you mentioned the Association of Flight Sim Builders and Instructors and Gleam Aviation there, because there's a lot of talk about crossovers between the simulation world and between the real aviation world, and I know that for myself, because as I work in the industry as well, and it's always very interesting to get to speak to people who work on both sides of it. Are we going to have some of those some speakers and people from the industry from both sides of the fence, as it were, speaking, that we can hear from and engage with at FlightSimCon this year?
Yes, absolutely. That's a big theme this year, is transitioning from flying online to the real world aviation. And for instance, Sam Johnson from IBAO, who IBAO will also be exhibiting at the event and demonstrating flying online at their booth. But Sam will be discussing the benefits of flying online and the pros and cons of the different communities and networks and and the training involved with that. And then we have Sebastian Canute-Trollier, who is a real world pilot, and he'll be discussing flying online on VATSIM and Pilot Edge. And he'll bring a bunch of knowledge and expertise to his presentation. Tyler Beals is an airman in the United States Air Force and a air traffic manager with VATSIM, and he will discuss the transition from being an enthusiast to real world air traffic control. And Matt Bailey, also an active pilot, and he'll be discussing the basics of microcontrollers and X-Plane API and how to make the two talk together. Ethan Hawes is a first officer on an Embraer, and he will be discussing he's added something on which we need to get onto the website. This is a new addition. He'll be doing two seminars. One is about funding your simulation or real world aviation endeavors.
Because we all know how much of a financial sink, whether it's real or virtual aviation, that aviation is.
Yeah, exactly. And he said he's asked that all the time, so he might as well put that into a seminar topic and talk about that. And then he'll also be discussing about how to connect flying, giving tips about flying tips and techniques with the real world and simulator. And then Bart Wakulik from ValerSim, and again, ValerSim will be in the exhibit hall demonstrating his chassis systems, and Bart will talk about examples of using Flight Simulator as a tool for an active pilot or students. And that's another thing. This event is really good for students as well. There's a lot of opportunity here to meet people that are in that aviation career field, and they can certainly make some connections and learn a lot along the way. And then we've also added Rick Todd, who's the president of the National Association of Flight Directors. So he'll be speaking at the event as well, and we're very excited about that.
Oh, fantastic. That is sounding like definitely quite the lineup of, and getting that sense of real world aviation, and how it feeds into how it can complement, or how flight simulation can complement a real world thing is a debate that's oft had, and it's always great to hear from people who've had the experience on both sides of the fence. Now,
Yes.
with the new venue that we're moving to, of course, being in a new city and a new venue. So tell us a little about where the event's going to be held this year.
It will be at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Dallas. We have a room block and there's a link to that on our website, FlightSimCon.com. And it's really a good location. I know people were a little bit isolated in the past at our Hartford venues, but being right downtown in Dallas, you can walk to things in the evening, and it's also there's they also have convenient transportation from the airport. There's the two airports, DFW, of course, and then Love Field. And either way, we're just between 10 and 7 miles, and there's direct transportation. There's a train from DFW that goes right to the doorstep of the Hyatt Regency. And this will also location will also provide us with a much larger exhibit hall and seminar area. And then also housed in the hotel is the Reunion Tower, which is I forget how tall it is, but it's a landmark there that's been in Dallas for quite a few years, and you just the sight up there from atop that Reunion Tower is just fantastic. And there's a restaurant up top that revolves around. So we're very excited about this new venue.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like it is going to be definitely a fantastic event once again this year, and of course, really looking forward to it, folks. So, if you
And
do have a chance to head over to the to Flight SimCon 2018 in its sixth year in Dallas, Texas, definitely head over to FlightSim.com to get your find out more information and grab your early access tickets now. To round out there, Nicole, what's the thing that you would be saying that you would say you are looking forward the most out of the getting out of the event?
I would, well, we're looking forward to meeting some new folks. Like I said, we've heard from people throughout the years that said they want to come to Flight SimCon and maybe didn't have the chance before because they were located so far away. So meeting these new people and then having these new partners on board. I'd also like to mention we have some great sponsors, a lot of whom will be exhibiting, but then there's a few that will be, like, for instance, Stay Level Avionics. This is a new company that's just put out a new tabletop flight simulator avionics panels. And he will be doing a giveaway. We'll be posting that on social media soon. He's giving away an avionics panel. So that's pretty exciting. Then we just signed on Thrustmaster. And
Oh,
uh,
that's an exciting announcement.
yeah, it is a very exciting announcement, just brand new. Sharing it with you, Tristan, and to all the listeners there. So they'll be doing some giveaways and have a bit of a presence there.
And
So
for
that's what.
somebody who uses Thrustmaster equipment, I can definitely swear by it. It is very high quality gear. So, folks, for that reason alone, if you haven't tried Thrustmaster before, get along and check it out. That is great gear.
Yeah, you just need to register and enter these contests and raffles on site to win. And we encourage people to register uh, by May before the rates go up. They'll go up at the end of May after the 25th. And the registration link is on our website, again, FlightSimCon.com. And we have 1 day full or all weekend registrations, and we have a really low guest rate for folks that are attending as a regular attendee, but then maybe just want to bring along a family member to accompany them for just a short while, and they don't necessarily need to be at the full event. So we have a great rate for that, and I know that helps people out.
No worries, that is some great deals and some great offers there over at FlightSim.com. All right, folks. Well, thank you very much, Nicole, for joining me on this episode.
Thank you very much, Tristan.
And
Appreciate it.
no problems at all. And folks, as I said, Flight SimCon for me is definitely has a special place in my heart. Having been there a few times, it is a great event. So, folks, I do highly recommend that if you wanted to check out the event this year, head over to FlightSimCon.com. You can grab some details and see if this is going to be the event for you. As I said, some great speakers there. Sounds like some great exhibitors, and definitely having, as I said, with Thrustmaster coming on board, they do some great kit if you haven't tried it out before. All right, folks, thanks very much for joining me. don't forget to head over to FlightSim.com to grab all your details. Otherwise, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.